Hey guys, how's it going? I'm going to be showing you a build for my Embermage in Torchlight 2 because I've been playing a lot of that recently, and I've been thinking about it a lot. And I built a pretty flexible build for my Embermage. I think it's pretty good in terms of damage and survivability and flexibility and all that sort of stuff. So I'll just give you a look at what I've got at the moment, and then we'll get into my stats and how you should be placing those. So as you can see in my first skill tab for my Inferno skills, I have Immolation Aura up to 10, and my 3 passive skills, Charge Mastery, Elemental Attunement, and Firebrand, all the way up to 15. I have my Ice Brand also up to 15 in my Frozen skills, as well as my Elemental Boon. Now, I'm sort of going for a one skill wonder type thing in the Frost phase and the Ice Prison, but basically just because I don't really need them to be, all the way up to level 15, because in reality that cooldown reduction and that blast radius isn't really going to make much of a difference, seeing as I'm just using Frost Phase to teleport and Ice Prison to block enemies and sort of confuse the AI a little bit. So in the shock skills, this is where you're going to be getting, your main abilities to fight with. We're going to be using Prismatic Bolt, and we're going to have that all the way up to 15 for total damage potential. Now, something that I've been doing that's a little bit different is using Death's Bounty. Now, I found Death's Bounty to be one of the most useful skills that I've been using. It really gets rid of the need to use potions, and your mana and health basically become something you don't have to worry about. And I'll get more into that in a minute when I'm showing you how to play the class. I'm also using Lightning Brand, just the same reason as Firebrand and Ice Brand, to simply boost maximum damage. Alright, so now that we've covered that, I'll move into my statistics. So as you can see here, I've put most of my points into focus because we don't really need to worry about much else. I mean, the main thing we're going to have to worry about with this class is boosting the damage the most, because it is traditionally a damage dealing class. I have put a few points into vitality, but that's only to max out my block chance. So when you are doing your skills, totally ignore strength and dexterity. It's what I did, and it seemed to work out okay. Put most of your points into focus, and just have a little bit remaining for your vitality, so your block chance is capped at 50%. Alright, so now I'll go into any dungeon, just a random dungeon, and show you guys how I play this class. I guess just need a normal one. This is just a typical 105 map on Veteran. So as you can see with my skill setup, I have 1 for potions, 2 for my elemental overload, 3 for my elemental boon, 4 and 5 for frost phase and ice prison. I've got my mana potions at 9 because I very rarely use them, and my waypoints at the default of 0. I have my prismatic bolt on my left hand main ability, and my Death's Bounty and Immolation Aura stacked together on the right, so I can just quickly tab between, cast my aura, and tab back. So as you can see, a great amount of damage is dealt, and a very high health return. And the thing that I found most useful with this build is that the stun incorporates into everything as well. So it's great for crowd control, especially if you're going to be doing solos. And the main reason that I'm using my Immolation Aura is to simply reduce the damage. I mean, that 10% reduction really does a lot, and it goes a long way when you get into this endgame content. So as you can see, even though I took a fair amount of damage there from that fight with the troll, most of it was gained back almost immediately from its death. So now that I've shown you how to play this class a little bit, I'll just go into my gear so you guys have an idea of where I'm at in terms of gear, in case you're confused as to why I'm doing so much damage or so little damage. At the moment I'm using one of the 5 legendary wands, which I found just recently, so you'll just have to trust me when I say that this build worked with a lesser weapon. I'm also using a few of the Emberweave sets from a long time ago. I recently replaced my pants with some level 100 pants. The Emberweave chest, the Emberweave helm, just a regular necklace I used to boost the vitality attributes, and my rings to increase my overall damage on ice and electric, as well as boost my vitality a little bit. Not super necessary, but it was quite helpful. Emberweave shoulders, this belt, which I found extremely helpful to have 35% extra electric damage, as well as that 137 electric armor and that additional 160 ice armor, was, just amazing. The Frosttide, the set I'm trying to work on at the moment, I would like to get endgame set, but I think I need to work a little harder on my pre before anything goes forward. So I've got the Frosttide gloves and the critical factor shield, which I just gambled luckily and got the right item. Yeah, so that's my gear. I'm on New Game Plus Plus and planning to go through Plus Plus Plus, and I'll update you with how that goes with this build, and hopefully I'll have more builds for you guys in the future. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.